right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today in one of Nick Walker's recent YouTube videos. He spoke a little bit more about the separation between him and his coach, Kyle Wilkes, and kind of implies in this clip that he's going to be coaching himself for a little bit, at least going forward, maybe into his next show. Here's what he said in the clip, and I think it invites kind of an interesting conversation.
So hire someone with experience, learn as much as you can. And if you're like, I kind of want to just do this on my own now, you already have a good base. You have a good foundation. And you go on, it's like hiring a trainer. Helps you work out, teaches you how to work out. And eventually you learn on your own, different tools, different styles, different methods. And you just do what works best for you.
So the reason I say this could be interesting if Nick does prep himself, if he does coach himself for a show, let's say like the Arnold. I know that him and Kyle Wilkes, or Kyle said that they had interest, or they had talked about potentially doing the 2026 Arnold, Ohio. So let's say he preps himself for a show. I think that's going to be interesting to see because Nick is an elite level bodybuilder. Even though the Olympia placing and the Olympia look wasn't the look that we wanted to see from Nick, he is, one of the best in the world, one of the top 6 best in the world. And I think especially in the modern era of bodybuilding, when you see a lot of these elite level bodybuilders perform well, the coaches get a lot of the credit. And if you look at a lot of the top guys, most of them have a coach. You look at Martin Fitzwater and the incredible looks that he's been bringing, a lot of that credited to Boss of Outlaw, Stefan, Derek Lunsford with Chris Aceto, Ramon Dino with Chris Aceto. But then I think it gets interesting with guys like Samson, who's being prepped by his wife. And obviously this year didn't go that great for him so far. But I like to see the top-level guys performing well and not necessarily needing a coach to do it. Because I really do think there maybe is an overemphasis on coaches when it comes to pro bodybuilding. And you look at Hadi Chupin, for example. Supposedly, Hani Rambod, fully retired, did not help Hadi with his prep at all. I still think that maybe towards the end, once Hadi arrived here, Hani may have given him some pointers or helped him to some extent. But according to Phil Heath, Hani fully did not prep Hadi for the Olympia. Hadi did it maybe with some help in Iran. We don't know who his coach is, if he did have one, but seemingly did it on his own. And a lot of people thought he should have won the Olympia. Brandon Curry, I think, is another good example. This year's Olympia, Brandon did not go to Kuwait. He prepped himself from home and brought, I think, arguably one of Brandon's best looks ever to this year's Olympia. And going back to the Samson Dauda example, Samson did win the Olympia after leaving his coach Milos and then working with his wife. So there is an interesting scenario to be had with Nick Walker, is he's had success with different coaches. With him being an elite level bodybuilder, he already has the size, he has the experience, he has the genetics to an extent. What can he do without a coach? I think it's interesting to see, and I know that Nick is getting a lot of hate right now because of the split with his recent coach, but I think it does provide us an entertaining scenario here. And I'm sure Nick is probably even getting hate for the decision to potentially prep himself for a show. And maybe I'm alone in this opinion. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. But I would like to see more bodybuilders try to coach themselves and prep themselves for a show. And maybe more bodybuilders don't necessarily need the guidance of the coach. Maybe Nick does, maybe he doesn't. But we're going to find out if he does prep himself for a big show like the Arnold. There is that possibility of what if he does look better. And I think another good example of this would be a guy like Quentin Beastwood. Even though Quentin never won a show this year and didn't qualify for either this year's or next year's Olympia, we did see Quentin prep himself for these shows, and we did see from show to show, Quentin improved as he learned from show to show. We saw Quentin bring arguably the best looks of his career as he kept competing, and he did that himself. He learned how to do that from trial and error. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with Nick Walker if he does go down this road. And I don't think people should really hate on him for it. You can have opinions on, whatever the situation was with the split, but I would like to see Nick prep himself. I would like to see more top-level bodybuilders do it just to see how important is the role of a coach really at that top level where these guys already have the experience, they have the genetics, they have those elite level placings, they've had multiple successful preps and peaks and contest placings. And in Nick's case, you have acquired a certain amount of knowledge from working with different coaches for so many years. It's not like you don't learn anything throughout that process. And then I think imagine also the redemption arc if Nick does prep himself for a show like the Arnold Classic, for example, and he wins the show. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about the whole coaching thing, about the future for Nick Walker. Me personally, if he does prep himself, I like that idea. And I believe it's been fully confirmed now that for the Prague show, Keon Pearson did not work with his coach, Patrick Torr. Keon and his wife prep for that show together, so maybe going forward, Keon tries to prep himself for shows. I personally would like to see more of that in bodybuilding. I think it's cool to see guys just take complete responsibility and accountability for their preps. And then, that's the flip side of it too. Then when you don't look good, you can't blame it on a coach, but then when you do look good, it gives you that much more credit. If you look good, prep yourself, win a show, it makes you look all that much better. Now, next up in the news, there hasn't been a lot going on in the news this week, honestly, and I think really the thing that we're looking forward to the most is this weekend's Romania MuscleFest Pro. Now, I saw this comparison video on Instagram. It was on the Aesthetics World Instagram page, just a side-by-side synced-up video of Joan Pradells from the Prague Pro compared to Andrew Jack from the Texas Pro. And this is going to be the battle that we're really looking forward to seeing in Romania this weekend. And honestly, I think that's why there hasn't been that much in the news this week, is because really, Andrew Jack is the clear favorite frontrunner for this show, and the next guy in line is Joan Pradells. And, realistically, I don't think there's going to be a realistic situation where Joan beats Andrew, and I think you can see that in this comparison video. And neither Joan or Andrew have posted any more physique updates this week going into the show. But there's been a lot of talk about Joan, how young he is. He's in his early 20s, how much improvement he has made this year, his structure, his size. If he can just bring some tighter condition, especially from the back, he's going to be very dangerous. I even saw a clip of, I believe it was Fouad, saying that he thinks in the next 5 years, Joan could win the Olympia. And I've seen a lot of comparisons structurally of Joan and Jay Cutler, actually. So I do see there is a lot of potential in this guy. He's got a great shape. He's got a ton of size, a lot of width. He's got crazy delts, super thick, wide lats from the front. It gives him this really nice illusion of width, and not really even just illusion, but actual width. Do I think he has a chance of beating Andrew Jack at this show? I don't. But do I agree that the future is extremely bright for Joan? I 100% do. And there are still a couple more shows before the end of the year. I believe one of them is in Spain, where Joan is from. I hope that we do get to see him win a show, his first pro show, and get to his first Olympia, which would be 2026, because I do see a ton of potential in Joan Pradells. And I've said this in basically every video that I've done where I've covered Joan, but I'll say it again. Every show that we've seen him at this year, this is by far clearly the best year of his entire career. This is the best. All of these shows really have been the best version of his physique that we've ever seen from him. He's on a completely different level than he was for the 2024 season, and now he's really starting to make that impact. And I'm still excited to see this battle between him and Andrew, but I do think that realistically, Andrew Jack, there's really no chance he loses this show, and that might be why there seems to be maybe, some lack of excitement for it, because unless something goes horribly wrong with Andrew's physique, I just can't see him losing this. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think these guys certainly will be top 2 in Romania. Who do you guys have winning? Is there anybody that actually has Joan winning the show and not Andrew Jack? Let me know in the comments below. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today. I saw this on RX Muscle.
Has Derek decided if he's going to do the Arnold?
He has not mentioned anything to me. I saw somewhere on Instagram it said that he's doing the show, but he didn't tell me that.
Well, I think you would know before anyone else.
This has been an interesting topic of conversation. Derek Lunsford doing the Arnold, is he doing it, yes or no? Right after the Olympia, at the Champions Seminar. Derek said no, he's not doing it. Then a few days ago, maybe it was a week ago, when Tarek, the host of the Mr. Olympia TV channel, he's also an IFBB judge, he's involved with the Olympia, he reported that Derek is doing the 2026 Arnold Classic. Now, on RX Muscle, Dave interviewed Derek's coach, Chris Aceto, and he asked him if Derek is doing the Arnold. Chris Aceto said he hasn't heard anything about it. Derek hasn't said anything to him. And Derek, so far, at this point, has not confirmed it himself. I'm still in the camp that I don't think Derek is going to do it. I think that, he had a great year in 2025. He probably shuts it down and just focuses on defending his title at the Olympia in 2026. And probably, he's got another kid on the way. Like I've said before, I think there's no way that the stress of what's happening online, the opinion about Derek right now, just the attitude towards Derek and his win, Derek is human, and I think there's no way it's not affecting him mentally. He won the 3 biggest shows of the year. I can totally understand why he would want to shut it down and just focus, just take some time to spend with his family, be with his family, and focus on that for a little while. The stress has got to be getting to him. And I know the money is crazy, $750,000. I know it's insane. I think it's probably worth it more for Derek to spend time with his family, because I just can't imagine him jumping into another prep right after this kind of whirlwind of the Olympia. I mean, at this point, the Arnold is less than 4 months away, like 3.5 months or something. It's already right around the corner, and I just personally can't see him doing it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.